I'm Megan.
And I'm Lamorris.
And we are the Crawfords. We couldn't be more excited to invite you on a God-breathed journey with us. Whether you're single, married, in a dating relationship, or you just want to chat, we are talking to you. Covenant culture is living intentionally in every relationship in your life and throwing the ultimate pinky promise on top.
God cut a covenant with man first. This was his idea. A contract is written in ink, but a covenant is sealed in blood. Covenant culture is the kingdom way of living. So join us every Monday to make this way of living your way of living.
Welcome back. Look at that. I took it from you. Episode 39. What do you want to tell the people, babe? Tell the people.
Tell the people. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
For tuning in, tapping in, subscribing, sharing all the good stuff. We truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we're talking today about, we're in This Is Love series. Mm-hmm. And we've been walking through 1 Corinthians 13.
We want to define agape love for you. I'm stealing all of his things.
I love it.
So, babe, this is what you do to me.
It's true.
If this were you, well, wait, I am you. Could you define, how would you personally define agape?
Agape love is a love
lavished on others.
That's lavished on others.
Whether they deserve it or not.
Whether they deserve it or not.
I won't do this the whole time, I promise. You can
it.
have a voice. Take your voice back.
It. Switch it up. I don't mind it. So yeah, we've been walking through 1 Corinthians 13.
Yeah.
And once again, these aren't simply attributes or characteristics of God. This is who God is.
Yeah.
It's him. Mm-hmm. It's his makeup. It's his DNA. It's who he is.
Yeah.
And so we've been walking through in some practical ways these points and how we can apply them, not only in our relationships or our marriage, mm-hmm. but just in life, parenting, at work, community.
Yeah. Dating. Strangers.
Yeah. Because if you're a follower of Christ, agape isn't an option.
Yeah.
And so this really is the highest pursuit in becoming like God, is to agape as who God is, if that makes sense. And so
makes sense to me.
Yeah. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast, right? It does not parade itself. It's not puffed up. It thinks no evil. And today we're talking about agape love does what?
You forgot.
Did I forget one? I don't think so. Are they right here? Kind, envy, does not brag. Parade itself. I said
maybe you did. I don't remember.
Does not puffed up. Does not behave rudely.
Yep.
Does not seek her own.
Not provoked.
It's not provoked. Not easily provoked.
Did you say all these?
Thinks no evil. We covered last episode. And today we're going, what?
Agape
rejoices where? In
the truth.
So agape love rejoices in the truth,
babe. And I think it's all, do not babe me. I think it's also important to say, and not an iniquity.
Yes.
Because that really, if you kind of need a litmus test for where you are on your love levels.
Agape meter.
Right? The agape meter. You can see if I'm telling this person I love them, probably in relationship. I mean, I know this can happen in dating or marriage, but gosh, you really hope not, because this is the person you're trying to be with and be a life partner. But if you say you love someone, but you kind of celebrate when they're not doing as well, or when they didn't look as good, or didn't get the new thing that you got, or, right, that's a real heart issue. Mm-hmm. And I would say specifically for women, because of envy and jealousy, and there's a root to that, So I would say that's a good meter to decide if this is someone that's your so-called best friend or really good friend or whatever, could be your spouse, could be your boyfriend or girlfriend. Are you really rejoicing with them when good things happen? Because when they don't have good things happen in their life, or when they're dealing with something big, if that makes you feel good, that's iniquity.
Yeah. That's something in your heart, and that thing has to come out.
Yeah. It's ugly.
Because what we try to do, Kev, this is interesting. This is what we try to do. We try to compartmentalize agape. Because you're my friend, I love you.
Yeah.
That's not God. God does not do that. He loves everyone the same. The murderer, he loves them. The rapist, he loves them. The child that's his, he loves them. How do we grow in doing the same?
Yeah.
That's the mark of true agape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even to your point, if I'm going to rejoice with them, how do I rejoice in a person I don't like? That.
Interesting. Because
You
that is
see
true.
what I'm
You
saying?
actually don't like them.
Correct.
Yeah.
So how do we rejoice with them? Did you look up that definition of rejoice? Did you find that?
Yeah, I told you the answer, but
You already said it?
yeah,
All
I
right,
just
I
don't
got
remember. Just not on here.
No, it's okay.
Pre-podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I just think that's very interesting to think about because you might have a jealousy or envy issue that you don't recognize that's like what it's turning into.
Yeah.
But it should be easy for us to celebrate our friends.
Yeah.
It should be easy for us to cheer them on and be excited for them and want the best for them.
Okay. I'm finna real time process something.
Oh,
okay?
I was like, you got a smile on your cheeks, and I'm wondering what it is.
This is not
Why do you
this was not planned.
Oh boy.
I didn't
This
tell her
better be
about
for
this.
Kevin.
No, this is a real situation that happened with me. But I ain't gonna say no names.
Lamorris here. Hey, I just want to take a quick second to invite you to go on a deeper journey with us to take the covenant culture message around the world. We're looking for individuals, families who are willing to partner with us at $7 a month. That's right. With that, you'll get bonus content. We'll be able to do maybe a small Bible study and even throw in a couples counseling session for you. So if that's something you would prayerfully consider doing, just go right over to covenantcultureministries.com. You'll see a green tab gift button in the top right of the website, and we pray that you want to partner with us. Thanks for your time. We'll see you soon.
But now that we're talking about this, I want to hear your thoughts. And we've talked about it. And when I start explaining it, you'll know.
You have no idea. Okay.
So we had an issue with someone, my wife and I, a legitimate issue. We brought the concern to the person, Matthew 18. We sat down with them.
Unfortunately, not whittling anything down. It's been a couple of these. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
All right, but I'm going to backtrack just a little bit.
Yeah.
Before this meeting, I was with a friend in their city.
Yeah. Got you.
I was processing real time with him about the issue. Now, mind you, we were already going to talk with the other guy. You follow me, Kat?
But it was a moment of confiding in a friend and needing like real truth.
Yes. So I wasn't planning on telling him what was happening.
It was seeking a counsel kind of situation.
So I was more in a vulnerable moment,
Yeah.
which, as you know, for men, it's hard to be vulnerable. But I felt comfortable with exposing my heart, whether it was a weakness or even my fault. I was willing to whatever. In this particular situation, it wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything, but I was feeling resistance. So I'm with this guy. I'm in his city. I'm about to preach for him. We sit down for an hour, and I just kind of spilt my heart to him. Well, he went to the other guy and told him. So by the time I get to the meeting, the other guy has a preconceived based on what this other guy told him.
Yeah.
And so now,
it's all justified because, well, you talked about me first kind of thing, which is like, whoa, this is all misconstrued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now, mind you, the greatest way of not confronting is avoidance. So I could have spilled my heart and avoided the other guy. But that ain't what I did. I had already planned to meet with him to express my concerns. You with me? So
part of it was that we were trying to schedule the meeting, but they weren't allowing us to schedule a meeting.
Correct.
So that was a part of it too.
Yes.
So yes. Okay, go ahead.
So now I know with the friend I expressed my heart to, something's off. You just know that he wouldn't answer my calls like he was sure. I was like, and I remember telling her like, yo, something ain't right. And I don't know what it is. So finally, I got a hold of the guy and I'm like, yo, man, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, did you tell blah, blah, blah? He was like, yes. I was like, wow. I was like, honestly, bro, that violated trust. That hurt my heart. And man, we haven't been friends since. And it's like, we haven't, like, the depth of our relationship stopped. Now, what does this have to do with agape, right? And we are in what? Rejoicing in truth. So here's my process with you real time. I, in my heart, love this guy. I love them both. Honestly, I do. I have no ill will. I don't wish they ministries crumble or nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, as a matter of fact, when I ride past this building, I literally pray every time, Lord bless them. Literally, when I ride past this church, okay? When rejoicing in the truth, can agape or is agape reconcilable? Is this something I should try to reconcile?
Yes.
In what way?
Well, this is every love pursues. So it's always going to be you're chasing reconciliation.
So
yes.
Can I still love him but not be in relationship with him?
Well, yes. But do you want to be in a relationship with him?
It feels like I can't trust him with vulnerable things.
Well, then no, you don't have to be in a relationship with someone, but you could always circle back. It's been some time to just be like, hey, I just want you to know I love you. I just wanted to reach out. I just wanted to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I also have clearly gone through my own things and trust has been violated and I've been hurt and big things have been said. But I have chosen to maintain and stay in those relationships, some of them. So with that being said, it's just, again, what are you willing to deal with?
Yeah.
Like what do you want to deal with? Does it get better? Does it? So no. And you don't see this person every day, either one of them. That's different too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that, yes, love rejoices in the truth. To circle back and have another conversation would not be a bad thing. It would be a good thing. Now, how they respond is not on you.
Yeah.
But that's still important to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like the fact that it came up means that, yes, you should.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, I do think something that is important, an important part of this story is I think that it all came out. I mean, I can pretty much verify this without the individual, one of them telling me this to my face. This came out of a place of jealousy concerning you, your anointing, the way you are. And it's easy for me to say that because I'm your wife and I feel like we're having a real conversation in our bedroom right now. But it's easy for me to say that because that's just the truth. You are who you are. Most pastors aren't like that. Most pastors are who they need to be in the moment, or are bleeding on their congregation, or are really, really wounded and trying to keep face, you know. That's just not, you are who you are. I mean, you really do take your battles with the Lord. Like that's just how you live. Most people don't do that. You also have gone through so many things in life that most people will never, and they can't even understand how you could put yourself back together, or because of how you've submitted your heart and your life. So it's different. When you hold a position, when you have some clout or something to your name, when you, whatever prestige people think, that's never been how you've been, but people will respond to that, right? So unfortunately, and this is just the truth. I mean, this is a direct statement. And I don't know. I think because we haven't said any names or a church or a city or anything like that, I think it's fine. But like, this was a direct quote. And I think it helps provide clarity and understanding too, that what was spoken to us, to our faces, was I've never seen a couple come in and so many people flock to you. And I remember instantly, and I was a little provoked, I do know that, but we'd prayed over it so much, and we were just truly trying to seek the truth, which is, this is it.
Yeah.
That's how you can rejoice in the truth.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be happy, rah, rah.
You can rejoice in the truth that hasn't been revealed.
It's rejoicing that we're actually getting to the truth, right? So I remember instantly saying, whoa, well, you're saying that like that's a bad thing. Yeah. Right? Like, let's step back and understand people have come in, but that doesn't mean that, what's the harm in that?
Yeah.
Some people that could be harmful,
yeah,
but that's not always the truth. We were loving people. We were counseling people. We were pushing them back to leadership.
To the church,
we were always giving them the word. You know, we tried to keep our emotions out of it. We are human.
Yeah.
But I'm saying all that to say, and for the importance of it, I wanted you to have that moment because you're processing in real time. But people have been so hurt by churches and by pastors and by obviously friendships. For you, it just so happens all three of those collide, right? What do you do being that example? Our intention was not to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Our intention was to seek the truth so
And
that it could be
yeah.
rejoiced in.
Yeah. Come to a resolution.
Even knowing like, hey, this is how I feel like all this is coming at me. I've heard this and this and this and this from this person and that person and that person. Like, I'm just trying to meet with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to make sure we're good. Like, we want to be on the same page. We want to love you. Most individuals don't even get that opportunity with a pastor.
Mm.
So if that's someone that's listening, and if you have been church hurt, there is a way of handling things, and it's always going to be agape. I mean, the Lord has spoken very specific things to me about that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And truthfully, are we perfect? No, that's easy to say. Is anyone listening perfect? No, but we do know that the Lord delivers the integrity of the righteous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to scream it from a rooftop. That's why no one has heard us speak about a lot of issues, a lot of crazy situations that we've been a part of publicly. That's not our heart.
Yeah.
Our heart's not to go and like put people on blast or say what's wrong. We've had opportunities. We've had people come to us to offer a microphone to speak all these things. That's not it. Because if love's rejoicing with the truth, how does that help people?
Mm-hmm.
We're in it for the church is the body.
Yeah.
So it's not one church. It's not one pastor. It's not another pastor. It's not you. It's not, we're doing this together. And if it's collectively harming the body, why would we do that?
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. Like, we know a lot of famous pastors. You know, I don't love that term. That we are co-laborers. There shouldn't be one that is standing greater or above. That's why we didn't want to do the podcast. Like, we don't think we're anyone. That's not the heart. And we're not also the people that are going to shout humility when we desire the limelight. That's just not who we are. So it's been a very interesting battle for us because we have walked through very real situations in churches, pastors well-known, pastors kind of known, pastors no one knows at all, just trying to reconcile.
Yeah.
And the church is not good at it.
Yeah.
The pastors really, for the large part, they're not good at it because they don't want, if people are refusing to change, you can't reconcile completely. If this person, if you're at fault, they're at fault. If one of you's at fault, the other one isn't. Everyone should have an opportunity to change in order to get someplace, right? And move forward.
Yeah. 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 Man.
Rejoicing with the truth is a lot, but of course we weren't planning on going this way at all.
Yeah.
But I think it's important because, again, there's so many people just not going to church anymore.
Yeah.
Because you've been hurt by church. That sucks. And I know firsthand how that feels. And I know there have been many times I'm like, I'd rather not.
And I think for me, the disappointment is, you know, for leaders, we say this all the time, leadership isn't fair.
Yeah.
And so there's principles to leadership that you assume a leader has, like the willingness to confront. That's the proof of love. The willingness to be honest in how you truly feel. Don't send a third party to consult with me when it's our issue. Don't send an executive pastor. Don't send right? Like we don't even have pastors that's bold enough to sit down and say, okay, you express how you feel. I express how I feel, and let's get to a biblical resolution to moving forward. Yeah. But most, and I'm sad to say, don't care because they think it's their kingdom and it's not God's. And when you invade their kingdom, it becomes a problem. And so now, I'm sorry, you want to move on?
No.
Okay. So now
I have a lot of things to say.
I have another friend who's friends with the guy who violated your trust. And we're really close. And he's like, yeah, man, make it right, you know?
Yeah, but I would say this. I'm not disagreeing with that statement, but I also, it's not that you haven't made that attempt. You had a real conversation. That's what reconciling is. That's what we're talking about. Rejoicing with the truth. I'm just coming to you, telling you I know something's off. You're not responding. You're not returning my text or my calls like you were. It appears and feels like you're avoiding me. So rejoicing in the truth is that confrontation.
But here's the other part too, Kev, is that when he wasn't answering my text and then we talked and I told him what he did, he's like, I'm sorry, let's move forward. I felt like he didn't understand the hurt. That makes sense? So
I don't remember that it was an I'm sorry, let's move forward.
Yeah, he
this
was
might
like,
be
I'm
a
sorry.
you thing now, babe.
No, he was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
But the fact that you was avoiding me lets me know that you did mean to.
No.
In my opinion.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Listen. And I'm always going to protect you first.
No.
But also
Just spit it out.
rejoicing in
Spit the truth. Yeah.
would be, what do we do? I'm not saying it's correct, but what do we do when we know we're in the wrong? We cover ourselves. What did Adam and Eve do? They found a leaf. This leaf for this shame, this leaf for this insecurity, this for the, because he didn't know how to say it and knew that it wasn't correct.
Yeah.
But if he said, I don't remember that part at all, like, let's move forward. I'm sorry, I should have done that. I want to move forward. Then yeah, that feels like the ball's back in your court, my love.
But see, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it.
Why
I feel
are you
like
Kevin?
No.
Just kidding.
I'm just bouncing
I'm
back
just
and forth.
I'm teasing.
Yo, this podcast for real. Like, I feel like, and this is how I feel.
We've actually never done this.
And I'm very,
like this,
and I'm a
ever.
practical dude. Like, I'm a principled guy. I'm really not emotionally late. I'm very, if I sow the apple seed, the apple tree's coming. I'm principled in everything I do. That's what I strive to do.
Mm-hmm.
When he,
I would agree to that.
When
You
he
are.
said, I feel like he skipped over my pain.
Yes, babe, but that's how people, he didn't do it perfectly. It's not, now we have a higher and a greater expectation. Number one, because that wouldn't be your heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm realizing this more and more, even with my own siblings. As we grow and mature and live our own lives and have our own experiences with multiple people, they're not doing this every day with us. And they don't know certain parts of our character, certain parts of our personality. That one's big.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he genuinely, I believe, probably meant that.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, you actually, like you said, you love both of them.
Mm-hmm.
This was a painful experience. And it doesn't mean maybe you needed that healthy time away. And trust me, this is always touchy. People don't like this conversation because they're like, just X the people out of your life, just cut them out. That's just not what the word says. I'm not saying you have to be his best friend, but you are going to do everything you can. If there's something in your heart to the point where we're having a whole podcast surrounding it, then it's an important conversation to have.
Yeah.
You gonna say something, Kev? He's like, am I in trouble?
No, I think on the part where you said like he skipped over your pain, I feel like there's like parts on both sides. So like I told y'all a story of where, how do I say this without it making it public? The story I told you yesterday with the girlfriend and the boyfriend, and she went to him and told him what I said, all that. Yeah, I had said to her, like, I would love to move forward, but I understand if like there was some pain caused there. So I understand it might take time. So I feel like there's part of that maybe that guy you're talking about could have said or just made, expressed to you. So I feel like there's definitely a part of it that it takes time to obviously to rebuild trust, and it's not just going to be like back to normal immediately. But also looking at it from my side with that, my situation is the ball is kind of back in her court, in your case, your court of like,
now, if you want to, now you have to be the one that's like, I want to.
Right. It has to be a choice.
Because you've already said, just like to his point, he said, I want to move forward. Yeah. But basically, he gets it also, right? Now, here's another thing. We have been studying love for years. I'll probably say that every single podcast. With that in mind, not everyone has done that. Does that mean he's less of a Christian or he's a sucky pastor? Of course not. But it just means in this maturity, growth, love, travel, this journey that we're on, means not everyone is like, hey, you know what? Now I realize that maybe I held them to this, or maybe I should have rejoiced in this, just having the moment and just said, let me just listen to you. I mean, we can't hold someone to that because maturity has taken place. Other experiences have taken place. That experience has taught you something, him something, the other one. I mean, I hope that's in a very kind way, that's my hope. Because the truth is, as a pastor, the calling is to be a shepherd. I would say I feel like we have chalked some things up to. This is a cup for us that the Lord puts us in situations to have very difficult conversations with leaders because most people don't get the opportunity to. Most people get silenced and feel like it doesn't matter how they feel or what they think or who they are. When it comes to church, that's terrible, right? So I think that the Lord has put us in unique spaces like that, but it doesn't change that you still have a responsibility in it and an opportunity in it. and that you're human in it, and that you would like reconciliation in it either, right? And I would say go back to the mutual friend and have that conversation. That would just be a natural bridge. That's not everyone's story. It might be that person you're one and done, you know?
Yeah.
So rejoicing in the truth is hard, especially when the truth is ugly, right? Especially when the truth leads to division. Especially when the truth might be you have to talk to a pastor about something really terrible that they have done or said or lived in, or they've said about you and you've heard it multiple ways. Like, I feel like the only reason we can have this conversation even right now is because time has happened. Time is healing in some of its own regard, right? But for us, we've also intentionally worked on it. This is not who we want to be. We are going to tell the truth, and that's not always fun. I would rather bite my tongue and not say anything, but that's not what love does.
Yeah.
Love rejoices in the truth, knowing, hey, this person's been hurt, that person's been hurt. And just for the background of that, not the exact individual you're talking about, but the other one, that was where we were coming from.
Yeah.
All these people have been hurt and have no platform to say anything. And we're just coming on behalf of them, like letting you know, we don't know what's going on, but somehow it feels like we're getting grouped into something poisonous, right? And we don't want to divide the church. That's not it. We're here to love the church and lift and build the church. And we're here to support you.
Yeah.
Right? So I think all that's important. And it all still boils down to, has a pastor made the church his kingdom? Has he become the king on the throne?
Yeah.
Right? His
Yeah, his
palace.
palace.
Like, is this his, if this is his stuff, you'll know it because his fruit will show it.
Yeah.
Right? You'll know if things are flagrant, if there's no ability to care, there's no willingness to show up, there's no intentionality, there's no change. All of that matters so much.
Yeah. Well,
Do we need a part 2?
you ministered to me today. That's for sure.
I think we're at like 25 minutes. By the way.
Okay, maybe we should just cut this one and give it a part 2 because there are so many people that have been hurt by church.
Yeah, sure.
Just go into that.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next week,
See you
but
next
really in a
time.
minute because we're just going to stay right here. Bye.
Peace. Hey.
We should add that. Once again, we are so thankful that you would follow along with us. If Covenant Culture has been a blessing to you in any way, would you prayerfully consider partnering with us to take this message around the world?
There are 4 ways you can partner with us. Number 1, please pray. We covet your prayers. Number 2, give a one-time gift. Number 3, become a culture changer by your monthly financial commitment of $7 a month. And number 4, share our podcast with friends and family.
You can go right to our website, www.covenantcultureministries.com, and look for the green gift tab. We truly cannot say thank you enough for your support.
God started humanity with a marriage, and He is going to end it with one.